So following on from the other videos I've made about different parts of my story, today I wanted to speak about expectations and how when I was younger there was no real expectations for me in terms of what I should be doing with my life and how I should be achieving this or achieving that. The main expectation when I was at school was that I basically didn't misbehave, and so I was a good boy, a good student, because I had learning difficulties, so there was no real pressure there for me to be getting A's and A stars. I didn't have any of that. And as time went by, the only expectation was that I would simply get a job, so a normal job, as long as it paid the bills. There was no expectation of you better grow into someone who becomes a doctor or something like that. And before this point, when I was at school, I was also expected and had to work at home and help with the business. So as long as I did my jobs and didn't cause any trouble, and then as time went by, as long as I got a normal job that paid me money, that was enough. And so, as I said, there was no pressure on me to grow into someone who would be the CEO of a company or a doctor or would have a business, nothing like that. And when I look back, I can see that on one hand, this did help me because it didn't put me under a lot of pressure and allowed me to be myself. But as I said, at the same time, I was also expected to help around the business. So it wasn't like I could just be a child and just have fun. But of course, it did allow me to learn the importance of hard work and discipline and mucking in. As I was told, you better muck in and all that kind of stuff. And so on one hand, it did help me with that, because I do know that some people who are put under a lot of pressure when they're younger, they can experience all kinds of issues as well. And then at the same time, because I didn't have any real expectations placed on me, and of course expectations can also be positive as well, then I think this also had a negative impact on me because I didn't really expect much from myself. And as the years went by, many years, and ended up working with a healer, and he was talking to me about my potential. And when he said this, I was thinking, my potential? What are you speaking about? My potential? I'm just me doing my thing, doing the best I can. So when he said that, it very much planted a seed, made me think, what else am I capable of doing? What can I do? And I think not having expectations on me has also helped with my writing career and what I do, because when I was younger, through having learning difficulties, I didn't think that I'd ever be writing or doing any of this. If anything, and as an educational psychologist said, if anything, I'll be using my hands, not my mind. So this has been a surprise, but I think if very early on, if I was getting A's and A stars and I was very good at English, for example, and there was all this pressure, and then I ended up writing, then I would feel this need perhaps to be perfect, to get everything right, to do this, to do that. But because what I do is all very new and is very different to what I was good at very early on, I don't feel the need for anything to be perfect. So I've got to get a certain level. I feel very free to express myself, and I think that has allowed me to do a lot better than I would have done otherwise, because I can just freely express who I am without all this pressure. That's not to say that I just think, well, anything will do, of course, but the other extreme of being a perfectionist, which I'm not, has allowed me to really express who I am. So perhaps you can look back on your life and see during your early years you had a lot of expectations, or perhaps you didn't really have any. And if you did, you might be able to see how this has impacted your life, and if you didn't, you may be able to see how this has also impacted your life. But as I said, I think certain expectations are important. We always have expectations, whether we are aware of them or not. One person might expect to succeed and to do well. Someone else unconsciously might expect to fail and not to do very well. So expectations are very important. And of course, we can always change our expectations. So I hope this has made you think and made you think about your own life. And if you've got any feedback, feel free to share it with me, because it'd be great to hear from you. To find out more about the services that I offer and how I can assist you on your journey, go to www.oliverjrcooper.co.uk or email me at info@oliverjrcooper.co.uk. I'm looking forward to assisting you on your journey.